Here we go. So number 1, how did Isis rank among the Egyptian hierarchy of gods? One of the most important gods. Very good, Robert. Number 2, for what 2 aspects did the Egyptians worship Isis? They worshipped her as a devoted and loving wife and mother, along with her power to give life. Very nice. Number 3, what was the status of women in the cult of Isis? Excuse me. Equal position to men. Number 4, when was Isis's most important festival? March 5th. Ooh. No, that was May 5th. I was like, that's weird. That lined up. No, I'm 2 months off. Get it together, Miss Lonergan. All right, number 5. What season did it mark? Sailing season. Very good. Number 6, why was that season so important to the Romans? Sailing season satisfied the food demand. Good, because they needed to go across the Mediterranean to get to Africa to get the grain, bring it back. It's a big thing. Number 7, describe the procession to the Great Harbor. The statue of Isis was carried. Anything else to add to that description?
Number 10.
For number 7?
Like dancers or something in front.
Dancers, flowers, tuba players. It was a big deal. Okay, number 8. What was a sistrum? A sacred rattle. Good. Number 9. Describe the boat in the harbor and its fate. Newly built boat was sacrificed to Isis. It was loaded up with spices and flowers and then set out to sea. Number 10. What happened to the statue after the harbor ceremony? It went back to the temple. Number 11. What is a kela? It is the sacred temple. Very good. Number 12. What were 2 different aspects of this religious ceremony? It was a serious ceremony and it was good entertainment. Good. Number 13. Who were the Isiaki? They were the special brotherhood of Isis, the followers of Isis. Very good. Number 14. What did one have to do to become an Isiakus? This is a big thing, right? Oh, 13 was the last one I assigned. I was like, oh yeah, and this person's still typing because it's long. It is long, but I didn't assign it. Okay, so back to the beginning. Robert, 14 is going to be you. Hunter, 15, that'll be you. Brian, you're going to have 16. Parker, 17. Ethan, you're going to have 18. Aiden, 19. And Cullen, 20. And I'll give you guys a second to type. And Robert, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and hit enter on 14 for what did one have to do to become an Isiakus. They had to go through a ritual ceremony. Oh, good. Oh, and later they ask what the 5 things were. Okay. Number 15. Why is the golden axe important for our study of Isis?
Miss Lonergan, I didn't get this one.
You didn't get this one? All right. How about somebody who didn't get a second number assigned? Jeb, Ben, Tate, Tommy, anybody? Cole, anybody got this?
Which one is it?
It's number 15. Why is the golden axe important for our study of Isis?
It is important for us to study Isis because the main character became a follower of Isis. Is that
Very
why?
good. Yep.
Right.
Number 16. What were 5 things a person had to do to be prepared for membership in the Brotherhood? First, the body is washed. You're taught the sacred mysteries, forbid of the telling of those mysteries to others, fasted for 10 days, and finally the initiation ceremony. Very nice, Brian. 17. How well known were the initiation rites in the outside community? You could not tell anyone not in the Brotherhood. Very good. What 2 things did new initiates believe happened or would happen to them? That they personally met Isis and that they could hope for life after death. How widespread was the cult of Isis? It was very widespread over the Roman Empire. Good. And what happened to her priests in Pompeii? They were killed in the eruption. Very nice. Okay, remember these questions will be, a handful of them will be on your test, so keep them safe. Any questions? You should be able to scroll back up and get any of them if we went too fast for throughout the class period. All right, Latin 2. That's not what I meant to say. Venatio Part 2. Let's go over that. So go ahead and pull that out. Wow, I really cannot speak. Tragedy. I guess only for me, for you all. Further it declines, you'll get out of Latin 2 class. Venatio Part 2. So I shall call upon your name before I read the Latin sentence, so that you know that you can unmute yourself.
Miss Lonigan, didn't we go over it yesterday?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, we did.
we were over in class.
All of it?
Yeah.
You
You split it up. You gave us like
You split it up, and we did it by group.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful news. Great. Okay. On to the next then. So it is then time for us to prepare for a test. Dun, dun, dun. So on this test, you have your ISIS things. You have, oh no, the first thing I was going to do is go over your map instructions. And then we'll go over the test thing, because I'm trying to spread those out so they're not like right back to back since they're 2 test grades. But they are both going to be next weekish. So here's the okay, so if anybody has a oops, here we go. Okay, where's my, here we go. All right, here we go. Again, if I can see you all, I would appreciate it, so I know that you're like with me. I'm missing a few precious faces. Ben, Austin, Cole. Where have you gone?
Sorry, my mom walked in.
Ben? Austin? Okay, so if you can't turn video on, I'm going to put you in the waiting room and you can watch the video later, which will be on YouTube right after this class. Okay, so here we go. Here's the project. So you know you have to create your own hand-drawn map of some portion of the Roman Empire or greater Mediterranean, as it was between 800 and 400. And these are the materials that you'll need. And you kind of get a freebie for this because I know that you'll be using them when I can see your submitted map. So you've got, you'll need a ruler, you'll need a pencil, you'll need a good eraser, and you'll need your map, which you've already gotten your points for submitting. If you have submitted it, if you haven't submitted it, you still have that space in Blackbaud where you can submit that. And you need to get that taken care of so that you can print it off. So that's 15 points of this test grade. The required components, and this is why it was important that you use that checklist, because on your final map, these things need to be on there. You need to be able to note the years during which your political boundaries applied, and that's 5 points. So basically, you just need to know what years in this range your map was relevant for. That's that may require you going back to the website from whence it came, which is why it was important to save that website. I'm sure you did. And you can just hop back over there and grab that information. That's 5 points. Having your key or a legend is 10 points. This is the only thing that you can add to your map that wasn't already there. So the scale and the compass rose, you cannot add if they were not already there. If you chose, and if you end up choosing a map that does not have a scale, you lose those 10 points. If you end up choosing a map that did not originally have a compass rose, you lose those 5 points. Okay, you cannot add those. You are not an actual cartographer. You cannot tell me where true north is. You cannot tell me how many inches equal how many miles, but you can tell me that a triangle equals mountains. Okay. Some of your maps are different kinds of projections, etc. So you may have the kinds that have the, I don't remember the technical word, but you know, the topographical, there's the word, maps that have like the kinds where it looks very textured for mountains, and you're not going to be able to get that kind of detailed 3D look with your drawing, I would imagine. So you might want to be able to just use little triangles instead to denote mountains, and then that's going to pop up in your key or your legend.
What about if it's a like the name of the mountain?
If you just do the name of the mountains because that's what your map did, that's fine. If you have rivers that are like different, if you have what am I trying to say? If you have rivers that are named versus you want to do different colors for rivers and then put them in a key or a legend as well and name them in your legend because things are getting too small, that is also fine. We're making miniature maps, if you remember, so this legend is probably going to come in pretty handy. Now it's important to remember your key or legend has to actually be on the face of your map. It's not going to be on the back or off to the side. It's going to be superimposed over your map. So make sure that you leave room for it before you start coloring in anything on your map. Your required physical features, these were on your checklist as well. So this is why it was important, because if they're not on your final map, you lose points here. Capitals, so make sure you copy over your capitals. Rivers, mountains, oceans and seas, you got 5, 5, 5, and 10. And then other factors, neatness is 10 points, spelling is 10 points, and color shading, so you do not have to use colors. Normally I do require that, but I figured maybe there's a possibility you do not have colored pencils at home. You cannot use markers because they bleed, and I think with something this where we're going tiny instead of bigger, that's going to be a problem. So you need to either use colored pencils or you can just use a pencil and do shading instead of colored pencil. So color or shading and overall quality, that's 10 points. And all of this together, so your materials, using these materials, your chosen map, that was a grade. Showing that you used a ruler, I'll be able to tell by, you know, did you mark this off with 1 inches, or does this look like you guessed? Your pencil, your quality eraser, and then all of these came straight from your checklist. This is the one thing you can add as you're going. So as things maybe get too tiny, you can add them to your key or legend so that you don't have to write them out right on the map if it gets too hard. And then this is obviously a quality check grade down here: neatness, spelling, shading, and overall quality. These all equal 100 points. Okay, so again, on Tuesday, and this will be in your course documents. On Tuesday, you are still on step 2. Step 1 was get your map. Step 2 is to get the 1-inch grid on your printed map, and step 2.5 is to do your 1/2-inch grid on the piece of paper that you're going to copy your map over onto, and to have that ready to show me so I can look at it and say those lines look straight enough, I think you're ready to go. And then you're going to basically begin and have that due the following Tuesday. Like your completed map will be due the following Tuesday. And you're going to scan that in, not take a picture of it. I'm going to show everybody how to actually scan so I get the best copy of it possible into a Dropbox for the following Tuesday. As far as this Tuesday, I'm just going to have you actually show it to me on Zoom because I want to like look at it and comment on it. And that's kind of what we're going to do in class on Tuesday is like look at
Miss
everything.
Lonergan.
Questions? Cullen.
I may not be here in class because of AP exams on Monday. Yeah,
Gotcha. Oh yeah, we have.
should I just send you an email with it? Because I can scan it from my phone. Send you an email.
Yeah, if you know how to scan and you have an AP exam on Monday, that's fine. But nobody else, I don't want a ton of emails, but that's fine. Yeah. Jeff?
Miss Lonergan.
Is the like for step 2? Is the directions like? Is there a directions like in Blackboard, or is it? Should we just remember it? You get what I'm saying?
They're at the very beginning of the last video in on the YouTube channel.
Okay, thank you.
So I would just watch them and pause. Like,
Okay,
as you're doing it.
okay.
Aiden?
So I found like a map with like everything on it, but like it has like watermarks over it. Is that okay? It has like faint lines of like the logo, and then I would have to like buy like the map to be able to like use it.
Why don't you Dropbox it so I can take a look at it?
Okay.
Okay. Ben?
So you're saying with the key, it doesn't actually have to go on the map. It could go next to it on the same side.
No, the opposite. It has to go on top of the map. Tommy?
If I need to, would I be allowed to find a map and then on the copy I make add the mountains as long as I use a second map to figure out where those mountains would be, because I can't find a mountain with all 6 features anywhere.
No, you cannot, but I can send you a map if you're tired of looking. It just means, you kind of have to use the map that I send you.
All right.
Would you like me to send you a map?
Yes.
Okay. Let me add that to my list. All right. Any other questions?
Miss Lonergan,
Yes.
can you send me a map too? Thank you.
I
Anyone
presume
else?
this is being sent via email.
Yes. All right. Any other questions about that? All right, test is this. So, stage 19 we are finished with. And it is on. I always like to look at the test when I'm telling you about it. So it is on ISIS. It is on the imperatives. And the vocative. and the zodiac is your mythology. Okay?
When's the test?
And I'm going to give you, I'm trying to think because I hate having this class on a different class as Thursday because then they would only have one day to do it. So I'm going to say that it is due Monday. So I'm going to put the link up tomorrow at the same time as I put it up for them. And it's due Monday at 4. So you can do it anytime starting
Wait, what would be due? Is it the actual test or a review?
the test. So the zodiac section is matching, so it should be pretty easy. It looks a lot like the workbook page. The followers of ISIS questions are straight out of your workbook. So again, you have those questions. The imperative section is going to be a chart, just like your notes. Wink, wink. Okay. The vocative is basically going to be tested just by the translations. So can you use the vocative in a translation? Then you're good to go. And we're going to do some practice translations right now. And so then we're basically ready for the test. All right, and so then I'll put the link up in your announcements tomorrow, and you have through Monday to take it. So that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You have 5 days to take it.
Where's the link gonna be?
It's going to be in your announcements. All right, any questions? All right, so I'm going to put up our first practice translation. Right here. And I'm going to give you a second to work on it before I start asking questions. All right, so what case is this barbilis going to be?
Imperative? I mean, not imperative.
It's a noun. So it's going to be
Imperative.
in the vocative case.
Vocative.
What's going to be in the imperative? What word?
Kill.
Yeah, kill. All right. So barbilis is a second declension singular noun. And remember, that's the only case in the vocative that doesn't stay the same as any other word. So what should it be? What's the ending? According to your notes.
Or Billy?
That is right. Thank you. Barbile. All right, now, crocodiles on the hunt is gonna would normally come first, but when you use the imperative, you actually do the verb first. So what's to kill? It's necare. So how do I create an imperative? How do I say kill to one person? you have your imperative notes on you?
What'd you say, Miss Lonian?
How do you say kill to one person? If you're telling Barbillis to kill the crocodiles, how do you say kill to one person? What's a singular command to kill? Here's the word to kill, necare. How do I turn that into the
Negate.
command?
Isn't it negate?
What, Aiden?
Negate?
Are you saying nekate? What are you saying?
Oh, yeah.
That would be to tell a lot of people to kill. How do you tell just one person?
K, A-E, I don't know. I don't have,
You don't have the chart in front of you?
no, ma'am.
E. Okay. Just with an E.
Just this, neka?
No, Neke.
So I think the important thing I need everyone to do right now would be to take out this chart from these notes that we did do 2 times. I went over this PowerPoint with you 2 times, once before spring break and once after spring break. So you really should have this chart written down because I asked you to. And I ask for so few things in life. Does no one have it written down? You just thought you would get it somewhere later?
It's just A at the end.
Thank you, Aiden. It's just A. You just take off the RE. For telling one person to do something, you just take off the RE. All right, so kill the crocodiles. What case is the crocodiles going to be? It's the direct object, right? Who are you killing? The crocodiles. So what case is that?
Accusative.
Accusative. So what's accusative plural for crocodiles? Us, e, o, e, orm, is, os, is. What's the accusative plural?
East. Wait.
Close. I went too fast, maybe? Crocodilos. On the hunt. What's the word for hunt? Yep. Who's going to say it?
I said Venetia.
Yep, venatio. So we need, that's a third declension word, right? We need what's case is on?
Genitive.
What's place where?
Ablative?
Ablative.
Oh.
So we need ablative singular for third declension. Who can say the third declension chart out loud? It starts with blank, right?
East. Something.
Yep.
It's
Blank, east.
E. M. E.
That's right. So it should be venation. That's exactly right. All right. Oh, and it should end in an exclamation point because excitement. All right. I appreciate the struggle and that you guys did not give up, even though that was obviously not what you were in the mood to do. However, I am not giving you another one right now. What I am going to do is, for the third time, I'm going to go through this PowerPoint with you, and I want you to copy down this chart. Okay? It's on the test. I don't know how I could be more clear. I truly could not be more clear. It's on the test. Please copy down this chart. Okay? Okay. Sometimes I think I'm being pranked by you guys. Okay. Here we go. And I'm just gonna, for my own sanity, act like this is the first time that I've told this story. Imperatives. The imperative that you might already know is salve. Hello. It really means be well. It's when you're addressing one person. When you're addressing a lot of people, you might say, salvete omnes. Be well, you all. Here's the chart that I've been talking about so much. Calcare means to trample. It's from your vocab. It's a first conjugation verb. That's why I picked it. Persuadere is second. Spargere is third. Audire is fourth. I did not pick these because they were pretty. I picked them because they're first, second, third, and fourth conjugation verbs. So if you can turn all of these into imperatives, you can turn any first, second, third, and fourth conjugation verb into an imperative. The world is your oyster. Okay, so if you want to tell one person to trample on something, you say kalka. Get rid of that re, you're good. Just like when I said kill the crocodile, you were saying neka. If you want to tell a lot of people to trample on something, you say kalkate. Same thing if you want to tell one person to persuade someone, persuade. If you want to tell a lot of people to persuade somebody to do something, you say persuadete. All right, third conjugation is always the messy conjugation. It always screws up the pattern, and it does it again here. So this is where you need to be careful in your brain and on the test. So when you tell one person to scatter, everything is fine. It follows the rule. You just get rid of the re, everything's fine, sparge, scatter. But when you tell a lot of people to scatter, watch out, it's spargite. See that I? You need to remember to do that on the test. All right, if I tell one person to listen, I'm back on my pattern, everything's fine, Audi. Just get rid of the re and you're good. And if I want to tell everybody to listen, I say audite. The negative commands are a little bit even easier than this, if you can believe that. You basically just say, I don't want. So I don't want, and then the verb. So to say I don't want is noli. And then you give your infinitive. So I don't want you to trample. And then that works all the way down. So noli persuadere, I don't want you to persuade. Noli spargere, I don't want you to scatter. Noli audire, I don't want you to listen. And then to tell lots of people you don't want them to do something, you just follow it up with a te. So noli te, and then still the infinitive. I don't want y'all to trample. I don't want you all to persuade. I don't want you all to scatter. I don't want y'all to listen. And then the last slide was, I just translated the bottom row for you. So you listen, you all listen. You don't listen, y'all don't listen. Okay, so I raced through that. Woohoo, we have time for one more practice translation, and hopefully we'll have a little more luck now. All right, so I'm going to give you a second to work on it, and then we will do it together. Listen to the sound of my voice, dear heavens. Listen to the sound of my voice.
Miss Lonergan,
Yes.
are all the plural negative nolite?
All the plural negative are nolite. Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so what's the word in the vocative? What's the direct address? Duress.
Listen.
Citizens.
Citizens. Good. So this is the vocative. What's the imperative? What's the command?
Listen.
Listen.
Good.
Listen.
All right. So the vocative is always the exact same as the nominative, except in the second declension singular. Is the word citizens second declension singular like barbillis?
No.
No. So it's going to be the same as the nominative. So what is it?
Civis.
That's right. Kiwis. All right. What's listen or hear?
Audite.
Yep, it's audire, and you already turned it into the command. That we're telling a lot of people to do something, citizens, so it's going to be plural. So it's audite, good. All right, and the sound is going to be what case? If you're saying listen, hear the sound, is that what case? Nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, or ablative?
Accusative.
Good. It's accusative. Hear the sound. And I know it's confusing because this says listen to the sound, and the to that can be confusing. But think of audire as hear. So the sound is therefore accusative. So hear the sound. And so what is that going to be? Sony tomb. All right. Now of my voice. Whenever you have of my, that's always what case? Genitive. That's right. Possessive. So what is the genitive ending of wokes? Wokes.
Wokies.
Wokies. And then if I wanted to put my in there, oops, almost gave the answer away. I didn't quite finish it. If I wanted to put my in there, how would I do that?
Mayum.
Okay, may, and I need an ending here. So remember, adjectives agree in case, number, and gender. And the adjective is meus aum. So it needs to be genitive, feminine, singular.
Would be Maya.
Mayum.
All right, so think of it as you need to go the second declension. I mean, first declension because it's feminine. Genitive, singular. May I?
Maya.
Like this. Wokies, may I? All right, but that's fancy, and I wouldn't count you out for that. If you had no my in there, it would be an understood my, and that would be fine.
Miss Lonergan,
Yes, Jeb.
is it supposed to be audite or audites?
No, it should be audite. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I put that on there. Any questions about how we got any of these pieces together? All righty. All right, so I'm going to just recap since a lot has happened since I first told you about what's on this test. We've redone an entire lesson. So you've got your zodiac, which looks like remember? Ooh, so it won't look like that on the test because I'm making it on FlexiQuiz, but I mean, it looks a lot like that middle part. It's just matching. Like Aquarius is the, do you remember?
Aquarius is
Aquarius. I don't know.
Who's the water carrier?
No one knows
in the middle.
your-
So if you pop right back over to this page 62, the matching looks just like this, okay? In the middle. All right? Your whatchamacallit, ISIS questions come right from here. And to make it easy, I'll probably make it like, you know, fill in the blank or a mixture of fill in the blank, multiple choice or something like that. Okay, so right from page 70. Then you're gonna have your translations. We just did 2 of them together. And that's where your vocative will fall pretty much. And then you've got your imperative chart. Any questions? Yes, Tommy?
Is this going to be open book?
It is, but it's also timed. So you don't want to depend on your book for all your answers. You got about 25 minutes. All right. Well, if you don't have any questions, you can hit the road.
How much longer again?
Have a good day.
2.